Israel's military says it is expanding its operations in southern Gaza and is battling Hamas with snipers and tank fire in the Khan Yunis area. The United Nations has warned 150,000 people in central Gaza have nowhere to go after being urged to leave. Good evening, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Government suspends EPS official and security personnel regarding Lalitpur's Balkumari incident. Cabinet decides to provide compensation of 1 million rupees each to the families of those killed in the incident. Chief Ministers urge Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal to hand authority to the provinces as per the Constitution. Premier says he is serious towards formation of necessary laws to implement federalism. Fierce Israeli tank fire and aerial bombing strike Khan Yunis in the Gaza Strip last night after nearly 200 people reported killed in 24 hours. Palestinian death toll rises to over 21,000. And Nepal Police Club lift the Nepal Pro Club Championship title, thrashing Parsa 11 by 100 runs. Sagar Dhakal shines with the ball in Nepal Police's victory, grabbing 4 wickets. Providing compensation to the families of those who had been killed during the protest in Lalitpur's Balkumari yesterday. The meeting of the Council of Ministers held earlier today decided to provide 1 million rupees each to the families of the deceased. Sujan Raut of Dailek and Birendra Shah of Acham were shot and killed yesterday during the protest by youths demanding for the participation in language test for employment in South Korea. Likewise, the Ministry of Home Affairs has recalled Chief District Officer of Lalitpur, Rudraprasad Pandit, and the police headquarters has recalled Chief of Lalitpur Police Range, SSP Siddhi Bikram Shah. The ministry has decided to suspend DSP Umesh Raj Lamsal, who had been assigned to handle the Balkumari protest yesterday, and Bodhraj Danwar, Personal Security Officer of Minister for Fiscal Infrastructures, Prakash Jwala. The government has also decided to relieve EPS Korea Branch Director Guru Datta Subedi from his post. Prior to this, speaking during the 6th National Convention of the Joint Trade Union Coordination Center earlier today, Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal announced that the Chief of the Employment Permit System EPS Korea Branch and the security personnel involved in passing the vehicle without properly assessing the situation had been suspended. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal was briefed this morning regarding the Balkumari incident by Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Narayan Kaji Shrestha, Secretary of Home Ministry Dinesh Bhattrai, Inspector General of Police Basanta Kumar, and Inspector General of Armed Police Force Raju Aryal, as well as by the Chief District Officers of Kathmandu and Lalitpur. Likewise, the Premier received information regarding the incident from Minister for Fiscal Infrastructure Prakash Jwala. The Prime Minister's Secretariat has said that the Premier had held discussions regarding the incident with the leaders of the ruling alliance as well. Youths held a demonstration in the capital's Maitikar earlier today against the death of 2 youths during the protest in Lalitpur's Balkumari yesterday. A protest was held by youths who had failed the Korean language test under the Employment Permit System EPS in Lalitpur's Balkumari yesterday, demanding to be allowed to reappear in the test. Youth staged a protest in the capital's Maitikar earlier today, alleging that the government was responsible for the death of 2 youths in the Balkumari incident yesterday. 2 youths had been killed during the protest held yesterday, demanding for the participation in language test for employment in South Korea. Police have arrested those who had staged the protest in Maitikar today. The Kathmandu District Administration had imposed restriction on holding demonstrations in the area. They have been arrested by the authority, citing breach in restriction. A demonstration was held in Birendra Nagar, Sudket today against the killing of 2 youths during yesterday's protest in Lalitpur's Balkumari. Family members of Sujan Raut, who had been killed during the protest yesterday, held demonstrations in Karnali Province headquarters Birendra Nagar, demanding the resignation of Minister for Home Affairs and the Minister for Fiscal Infrastructure. They had burnt tires during the demonstration and demanded appropriate compensation for the families of the deceased. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has said he is serious towards the issue of formation of federal laws as he met with chief ministers of 6 provinces this morning in his official residence in Balwatar. The Premier also assured the chief ministers that laws would be made to ensure the implementation of federalism in a smooth manner. During the meeting, the chief ministers informed the Prime Minister of the decision taken by the provincial coordination meeting held in Hetauda and drew the Premier's attention towards the implementation of federalism and to ensure the rights of the provincial governments as envisioned by the Constitution. The interaction program held in Hetauda had drawn a 9-point conclusion which was presented to the Prime Minister this morning. In response, the Prime Minister ensured the process to form necessary laws would be expedited. Chief Minister of Sudur Pashchim Province, Kamal Shah, was not in the meeting due to his predetermined duties. Chief Ministers of all provinces have been expressing grievances, saying that the work execution of the provincial governments had been affected due to the lack of clear jurisdiction of the provincial levels. Welcome back. A girl was murdered in Islampur rural municipality of Martabari 1 in Rupandehi today. Nandini, daughter of local resident Shrestha Kurmi, had been murdered this morning. Spokesperson of the District Police Administration, Deputy Superintendent of Police Manohar Bhatta, said that the body of the deceased had been recovered from Kurhuria Ghat of Martabari this morning. He said that local resident Akbar Ali has been arrested on the charge of murder. The girl had been reported missing since yesterday evening. Police arrested Ali after the locals claimed that they had seen him along with the girl on his bicycle. Police have said that the body of the victim had been recovered after a search operation was conducted based on Ali's statement. Police have said that Ali has already accepted his crime and that further investigation is underway, as police have suspected that the perpetrator had raped and killed the victim. A demonstration was held today obstructing vehicular movement after the ward chairperson was arrested for his alleged involvement in illegal mining in Siraha. Cadres of CPN-UML held the demonstration under the leadership of Mayor Bhola Prasad Pokhrel against the arrest of ward chairperson of Khazarha Municipality Ward Number 1, Fanindra Pokhrel. Cadres of CPN-UML obstructed vehicular movement in Bandipur of Siraha under the East-West Highway. Ward Chairperson Pokhrel had been arrested by the Division Forest Office, Siraha, yesterday evening for his alleged involvement in mining stones and sand in the forest area. However, cadres of CPN-UML have claimed that Pokhrel was innocent. In this case, operator of the Kamleshwari crusher Muhammad Khalil Raina that had been operating in the banks of Kamala River in Karzanha, Municipality 7, had been arrested on Thursday. Information Officer of the Division Forest Office, Siraha, Radheshyam Chaudhary, said that the ward chairperson had been arrested after it was found during the investigation that he had made recommendations against the law. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What do you think of majority students with foreign academic qualification failing license test? Your options are A, weak education, B, inadequate preparation, and C, strict examination. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the international updates. Plumes of heavy dark smoke were seen rising over Gaza's skyline from southern Israel this morning, while fighting continued in the Gaza Strip. Fierce Israeli tank fire and aerial bombing struck Khan Yunis in the Gaza Strip last night after nearly 200 people were reported killed in 24 hours in Israel's campaign against Hamas militants, raising the overall death toll to 21,507, about 1% of Gaza's population. Thousands more bodies are feared to be buried in the ruins of neighborhoods. Israeli forces have been pounding Khan Yunis in preparation for an anticipated further advance into the main southern city, swaths of which they captured in early December. Nearly all of Gaza's 2.3 million people have fled their homes at least once, and many are on the move again, often reduced to taking shelter in makeshift tents and huddled under tarpaulins and plastic sheets on open ground. A Chinese envoy to the United Nations yesterday called for the establishment of relevant mechanisms as soon as possible to ensure safe and smooth access of sufficient humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip and expressed support for the early resumption of negotiations between Palestine and Israel. The UN Security Council yesterday held a meeting to discuss the situation in the Middle East, including the Palestinian question. China's Deputy Permanent Representative to the United Nations, Zheng Shuang, said at the meeting that it has been more than 80 days since the current round of Palestine-Israel conflict broke out, resulting in an unprecedented humanitarian disaster for over 2 million innocent civilians in Gaza. Zheng said, although the UN General Assembly and the Security Council have adopted multiple resolutions strongly calling for a ceasefire and a cessation of collective punishment of innocent civilians in the enclave and mightily demanding the occupying power to abide by international law and humanitarian law, it is disheartening to see the blockade and siege of Gaza, as well as violence and killings of civilians, along with raids and arrests in the West Bank, continuing to happen. He said the Gaza Strip is currently facing an extremely dire humanitarian situation with essential supplies nearing depletion, the health system on the verge of collapse, and social order facing imminent breakdown, adding that tens of thousands of pregnant women are facing severe threats of starvation, while newborns are unable to receive proper nourishment due to their mother's malnutrition. Zheng said that China urges Israel to fulfill its responsibilities as the occupying power by halting all settlement activities, curbing the escalating settler violence, thoroughly investigating relevant incidents, and holding those responsible accountable. Raids across 37 cities and provinces came after Turkey said it thwarted planned Islamic State attacks on synagogues and churches. Over 220 people have been taken into custody in 2 days. Turkish police arrested today 189 people suspected of belonging to the Islamic State militant group in wide raids across 37 cities and provinces. Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya made the announcement in a social media post today. A day earlier, Turkey said it thwarted Islamic State plans to attack churches and synagogues. Raided cities included the capital Ankara, as well as Istanbul, Antalya, Bursa, Diyarbakir, Gaziantep, Izmir, and Konya. Yerlikaya shared images of alleged IS members being handcuffed in their apartments during the night raids. The raids come after Turkish officials announced the arrest of 32 suspected Islamic State members. Police said they were allegedly involved in plotting an attack on the Iraqi embassy. The militant Islamic State group claimed in 2017 a deadly Istanbul nightclub attack on New Year's Eve, which left 39 people dead. China has named Dong Jun as its new defense minister 2 months after his predecessor was officially sacked. Dong, a former Navy commander, takes over from Li Shangfu, who was last seen in public last August. Dong's appointment was announced by China's top legislators at a standing committee meeting of the National People's Congress in Beijing yesterday. The move follows a slew of dismissals of top military officials from the country's top posts earlier this year. As well as Li, it included the removal of Qin Gang as foreign minister in July. No reasons were given for Li or Qin's dismissals. Both had been in their posts for only 7 months, respectively. Further sackings also took place this week, with 9 senior military officials removed from the standing committee yesterday. 3 executives at state-owned missile defense firms were also removed from Beijing's top political advisory body earlier this week. Argentina's President Javier Milei has sent letters to BRICS leaders to formalize his decision to withdraw his country from its planned entry into the alliance of major emerging economies. Argentina has formally withdrawn from the expansion of the BRICS bloc. New far-right President Milei has followed through on an election promise to reverse the country's decision to join. President Milei said the moment was not opportune for Argentina to join as a full member. The bloc, made up of G20 nations Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, in August announced it was admitting 6 new members. The membership of Argentina, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the United Arab Emirates was due to take effect from January 1st, 2024. The BRICS nations currently account for about 40% of the world's population and more than a quarter of the world's GDP, with as many as 14 nations, mostly from Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, interested in joining the bloc. A Chilean family welcomed a 7.105 kilogram baby boy amid mixed emotions as the child remains in intensive care and the mother is also hospitalized. According to obstetrician Marcia Venegas, this could be the biggest baby ever registered in Chile, surpassing another newborn who weighed more than 6 kilograms. The baby was born last Thursday morning at a hospital in Curani, Lahui, and had to be transferred to a hospital in Concepcion due to health complications. The mother remains hospitalized and is awaiting release to be reunited with her baby. According to a hospital statement, although the baby's condition is serious, he is reported to be stable and under observation in the pediatric intensive care area. Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Government suspends EPS official and security personnel regarding Lalitpur's Balkumari incident. Cabinet decides to provide compensation of 1 million rupees each to the families of those killed in the incident. Chief Ministers urge Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal to hand authority to the provinces as per the Constitution. Premier says he is serious towards formation of necessary laws to implement federalism. Fierce Israeli tank fire and aerial bombing strike Khan Yunis in the Gaza Strip last night after nearly 200 people reported killed in 24 hours. Palestinian death toll rises to over 21,000. And Nepal Police Club lift the Nepal Pro Club Championship title, thrashing Parsa 11 by 100 runs. Sagar Dhakal shines with the ball in Nepal Police's victory, grabbing 4 wickets. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.